Hi guys, this is Background. This video is to answer a burning question that someone asked. And I feel like many people would want answer to the same question. So I told the person immediately that I'll be making a video about it so that she will not be the only one getting answer to that question, but everyone. Shout out to this person that has this question. This video is made for you. So let's go to that question now, right now, without wasting so much of your time. The person asks that, Hi, thank you for this video. I want to know more about the MSW. Does one have to do PGD? Yeah. How is the master's admission for someone who doesn't have a PSW? Background to this question. Previous video, I spoke about how I became a social worker here in Nigeria. What made me to study social work here in Nigeria. Maybe you don't know, I'm having my master's in social work and I'm also a medical social worker. So this channel, I talk about social work, I talk about mental health, about motherhood, faith, and so much more. And I have a playlist of everything. If you want to see me talk about social work, there is a playlist for it. So if it's about motherhood, there's another playlist for it, and so on and so forth. If you have studied something that is entirely different from social work, let me say for instance, you studied like engineering, you studied like geography, you studied like a Greek, you studied like many courses like that is entirely different from human behavioral courses, like psychology, sociology, like criminology, like courses that has to do with understanding human behavior, understanding why people do some certain things the way they do it. Yeah. Or studying like nurses, like law. What you need to do is that you do PGD. Yeah, PGD is required. You have to do that for a year. When you do that for a year, then you proceed to masters. Social work is a profession that is selling everywhere, not just in Nigeria. In fact, you don't even value it here in Nigeria. But if you get abroad, it's a course that give you opportunity to jackpot to any country, because social work is in demand in every country, like every developed country, like Australia, Canada, like America, UK. Mention the country, social work is in demand there. So if you are if you have it in mind to relocate to another country, the best way to do it is you go through social work. If you have not gotten like a selling course already, like nurses and the rest already, you can just do your PGD. Before you know it, a year is gone and you have your certificate, you proceed for your master's degree. And if you want to go abroad for your master's, you are fine if you have the money. Like there's no way, there's no how you study social work that you will ever regret it. I'm just telling you of a fact. Study like nursing, you study like psychology, sociology, you study like law, you study like medicine, you can go directly into social work masters. But if you don't study something like that, if you don't study anything related to that, that means you have to go back, do your PGD and proceed for your masters. You will not regret it. That's just the truth. And furthermore, you are not just the only type of people who would do PGD. And the PGD is just for you to have a background knowledge about social work so that you will not start doing masters and you don't even understand what is going on there. Yeah. So while you do your PGD, you have a background. You have background about social work. You know what social work is all about. You understand it deeply. You understand it deeply so that when you start your masters, it will be so easy for you to understand. Yeah, if that makes sense. So PG PGD is very, very required. If you studied courses that is far different from social work, but if you study something that is related to social work, it's not necessary that you study social work in your degree. But if you study social work if you study like psychology, sociology, like criminology, like nursing, like yeah, like law, like courses like that has to do with human behavior, you can proceed to have your masters in social work. Then another thing that I would like to talk about is that you can have your masters here in Nigeria. There are a lot of schools that studied that are doing social work, yeah, in Nigeria. And if you have the money, you don't want to study in Nigeria, you can go ahead and do your masters in abroad. So I feel like another thing I need to add to this, because I don't even have a proper plan of how I'm going to do this video, but I just feel like I should answer the question. So if for PGD, it's just 2 semesters that you do PGD, and the fee is not as much as the masters. Within a year, you are done with your PGD, which makes sense, especially if you go to school that does not waste time. And I think like I feel like many school, even University of Ibadan, don't waste time again, so you can go there. I go to University of Ibadan now. It's like they no longer waste time. So you can do your PGD there. You can do it anywhere you like. It's just a year, 2 semesters. Why masters is 3 semesters. 3 semesters, which means 1.5 years or probably 2 years. So you don't, yeah, so it makes sense. And you will enjoy value for your money because social work is a very, very good course. I think I've answered your question. Thank you, Soso Rodia. I think that's your name, yeah. Soso Rodia, for this question. I wish you best of luck in your career, in your studies, and in everything you do. If you have watched this till this very end, make sure you subscribe to this channel, like, share, and put on your notification bell so that whenever we have videos like this, you'll be the first to be notified. Thank you for loving us. Bye.